Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about August LeetCoding challenge. So LeetCode has been providing some challenges for past I think couple of months or maybe more. Okay. So I started August LeetCoding challenge today on 1st August and I solved that question. It was easy and now I hope you all have tried and maybe you are not able to solve, or maybe you did but you are still confused, or maybe you want to look at a better solution. So okay, I will show you a couple of approaches and both are O of N. First one might seem a little complicated, or it has more if else conditions. Okay, it's not complicated but it has more if else condition. If you are comfortable with them, it's actually easier. Okay, it doesn't really have a complicated logic. It's just if else and maybe a for loop. Okay, so it's easy. Okay, and then there's second approach which you can solve. It's shorter approach. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Okay, so okay, introduction and week 1 August, and we have detect capital. So detect capital, that's our question, I mean title for our question. So let's have a look at our problem statement. Given a word, you need to judge whether the usage of capitals in it is right or not. Okay, and how do we judge that? We have certain rules. Okay, we define the usage of capitals in a word to be right when one of the following cases holds. Okay, so if all letters in these words are capitals like USA, then it's a valid word. Okay, so we can return true, a boolean value. And if all letters in words are not capitals, they are lowercase. Okay, like LeetCode, they have given an example, then it's valid. Okay, and third and final case, where it is a valid string, is only the first letter in this word is capital, like Google. Okay, so these are the three cases that we have to check. Okay, so it's really easy. Okay, otherwise we define that this word doesn't use capitals in a right way, and we just have to return false, boolean false. Now let's try to code it. Okay, oh that's I think it's fine. Okay, I guess now you guys can see. Okay, so I'm going to solve in Java again. Java is kind of my favorite language for coding, and you can, I think you can do it in any language. I'll try to make it easy and you can translate it to any language, JavaScript, Python, or Go, or whatever language you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with C sharp, it's even better. Okay, and you know why. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let's have a condition, if condition, checking word, if word dot length is equal to 1, we will just return true, because you can't really check those conditions for a single character. Okay, it can be if first we have checked for base condition. Now we will check else if word dot length, oh sorry, word dot length, it has, you have to use those angular bracket. I actually use too much arrays, and arrays don't require those brackets, so I get confused sometimes. Okay, so sorry for that. And if our word dot length is 2, then there's only one condition, where it will return false if our, and that condition is if our first character, that is character at position 0 in a string, is lowercase and next character is an uppercase character. That's the only possibility where our length of a word is 2 and it should return false. So that's only the thing we have to check here. So how are we going to do it? I'll be using ASCII numbers in this example. Okay, you can use character dot is uppercase or lowercase, and I will do that as well in our next method. Okay, for now I'll be using char at and integer. Okay, like you can do it integer of st, sorry, word dot char at word dot char at 0, okay, is equal to, I'm sorry, is greater than or equal to 97, which is small a, okay, and we can just copy it, and it will be, we have to change this to 122, which is small z, and it is less than or equal to 122, which means our first character is lowercase character. And then if our first character is lowercase character and integer of word dot char at 1 is, it should be greater than or equal to, if it is, sorry, if it is greater than or equal to 65, and it shouldn't be greater than or equal to 65, and plus integer of word dot char at I, sorry, word dot char at 1 is less than or equal to 90. If it's less than or equal to 90, 65 stands for, I mean, that's a number for ASCII number for capital A, and 90 is for capital Z, okay. So yeah, we are checking if our second character, that is character at position 1, is a capital character or not. If it is, we will just return false, okay, and if it's not, then we will just return true for all other conditions where length of a string is 2, okay. Now we will write main logic for all the other conditions where length of a word or string word is greater than or equal to 3, okay. So now here we go, okay. If integer of word dot char at I, sorry, char at 0 is greater than or equal to 97, and integer of word dot char at, you know what, I think I'll just type this out and then I will explain you. Okay, so I finished typing our code, and now let's try to understand what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's try to I mean, you know what this if condition is. We are checking if our length is 1, and if it is, we are returning true. Now we know what we are doing here. If our word dot length is 2, we are just checking for one condition that might result into false, okay, and we are returning false. It's not for everything else, we just return true, okay. And now in this if condition, we are just checking if our first character at position 0 is, if it's a lowercase character, then everything else must be a lowercase character. We are starting I from 1 because we know char at 0 is already a lowercase character. So what do we do now? We just check if everything else is a lowercase character or not. And also we know here that our letters or characters are going to be alphabets. They are not going to be anything else like a special symbol or anything like that, so we don't really have to worry about that, okay. So here in our if condition, this if condition just takes care of a condition where our first or first element or a zeroth character is I mean lowercase character, and it will check if rest of the characters in a string, in a word, are lowercase or not, because they have to be. If our string starts from a lowercase character, everything else have to be a lowercase character. So if it's not, if we find anywhere where, I mean, they are not a lowercase characters and they are less than 97, I'm checking for less than 97 because uppercase characters have a range of 65 to 90 in ASCII values, okay, integer values, ASCII integer values. So they are going to be less than 97, okay. We know that for sure because we definitely have either a lowercase character or a uppercase character, okay. Now if we have a uppercase character, after a lowercase character, I mean after it's starting from a lowercase character, we return false. If not, I mean if this condition, if our string starts from a lowercase character and it doesn't have any uppercase character, then we won't go into else condition and will return true. But let's just say we have uppercase character or string begins from uppercase character, then we have to check for a couple of conditions. First, our string begins from a uppercase character, but it has a lowercase character at first, at position 1 or second position, okay, like Google capital, like here we have Google, okay, or G is capital, but our character at position 1 is small, okay, so it's lowercase. So in that case, we are just checking if, I mean, or else condition means our first character is not a lowercase character, and if it's not a lowercase character, it's definitely going to be an uppercase character. We know that, okay, due to our problem statement. Now we are checking if our element at position 1 or character at position 1 in our string is a lowercase character. If it is, rest of all the characters, I mean every other character, has to be a lowercase character as well, and if it's not, we just return false. And now what if our second character or the character at position 1 is not a lowercase character, then it is an uppercase character, okay, so that's why we don't have to use else if, we can directly use else, okay. So else what, now we know that our zeroth element is an uppercase character because this if condition failed and we are into this else, and we also know that our character at position 1 is also an uppercase character because this condition won't work, okay. This if condition checks if our character at position 1 is lowercase or not, and if it's not, we will come into this else. And now we have element at position 1 as a uppercase, okay, and or a capital letter, and element at position 0 and 1 both are capital letters, first and second letters, which means element at position 0 and 1, okay, are both capital, so everything else has to be capital, and that's what we are checking here. And if it's not, we just return false. And if everything here fails and nothing is true, no if condition is true, then finally we know that a string or a word is a proper string, and we can just return true. And as you can see, I already submitted the code, okay, and yeah, it's accepted, okay. And its time complexity is O of n. Don't think that it has a worse time complexity, it just has a lot of if else conditions, okay. So it's not bad algorithm in terms of time complexity and space complexity, but it might be a little overwhelming maybe, okay. So as I said at the beginning of video, I'll try to approach, I mean not try, I will definitely explain you a couple of approaches using which you can solve this problem. So now here's the second approach, which is much more concise, small, and much less if else conditions, okay. And there isn't an else condition, there is a else if, but there isn't an else, okay. So this one is much more easier, okay. So what are we doing here? First of all, we are just using an integer to record or capture or count the number of uppercase alphabets, okay, or uppercase characters in our given string, okay. We are doing it using an enhanced for loop and if condition, and we are checking character dot is uppercase. As I told you previously, we have is uppercase and is lowercase methods, so we can easily do it. But I just wanted you to know how to use ASCII numbers as well, okay. So we are just counting number of uppercase characters, and then what we are doing is we are just checking if our number of uppercase characters are 0, and if they are, that means we have 0 uppercase characters and all our characters are lowercase, which is a valid condition. We will return true. And if else if our uppercase character is just 1, then we are checking if our uppercase character, which is just one uppercase character, must be at position 0, okay, because that's an valid string. But if we have only one uppercase character, and if it is at any else position, I mean any different position, okay, other than position 0, then it's not a valid string, okay. And this will just check that and return a boolean value which we are returning from our method, okay. And at the end we are just checking if our word dot length is equal to uppercase, and if every condition fails, like if condition first if condition fails and all our characters are not lowercase character, second if condition fails and our first character is, I mean sorry, number of uppercase character is not equal to 1, then we'll check if number of uppercase characters is equal to word dot length, because they have to. If neither of conditions mentioned above are true, then that means our word is completely capital, okay. All all the alphabets it has are capital, so they must be uppercase, so they must a word dot length must be equal to uppercase, and if it's not, then it means it will automatically return false, and if it is, then it will return true. Okay, so that was it for today. Thank you. I hope you like my video, and if you do like my style of explanation, I will definitely make more videos. This is just the beginning, and I would love if you can just show your support by smashing the like button and subscribing to my channel. Also remember to press the bell icon for getting notified every time I post a new video, and we will learn together. Now okay, let's just run the code. Sorry. And yeah, accepted. Okay, so before going, subscribe, like and share the video. Thank you.